Do you know what's in your trash can and where it all goes when it leaves your home? In the US, each person generates on average about 4.5 pounds of waste per day. Some of it is recycled, but the majority goes to landfills or is burned in incinerators. Look in your trash can. Many of the items we throw away are made of plastic, which can take hundreds of years to decompose and often ends up polluting our land, air, and water. Recycling and reusing items is good, but reducing the amount of trash we create is better. There are lots of ways kids can help reduce trash and work towards zero waste at home and at school. What is zero waste? Zero waste is the practice of reducing the amount of waste we generate with the goal of producing no waste at all. Our family has been working towards zero waste at home. We reduced our trash by 95% by following the 5 R's. Refuse. Many kids have heard of the 3 R's: reuse, reduce, recycle. But there's another important R for reducing trash. R for refuse. This R has to do with refusing things offered to you outside your home that you don't need. For example, many restaurants put plastic straws in their drinks. While they may be fun to use, they often end up in the trash or in the ocean. The next time you're in a restaurant, ask for your drink without a straw. Refusing freebies, such as stickers from the doctor's office, keychains, and goodie bags, is another way to reduce trash. While these items may be free to you, they are often used for only a short period of time, clutter up our homes, and end up in the trash. Reduce. A second R is reduce. Look in your trash can and recycling bins to see what things you and your family throw out. There are probably items that you only used once that are made of plastic. Many families drink bottled water, which is an example of single-use plastic. Americans consume over 42 billion bottles of water per year, and less than 10% of the bottles are recycled. These plastic containers are filling up our landfills, rivers, and oceans. Instead of drinking bottled water, use a refillable water bottle. Refillable water bottles are cheaper to use than bottled water and are used over and over. Just remember to take your refillable water bottle with you to school, sports practices and games, car trips, and to the playground. And remember to bring them home. Another source of waste comes from kids' lunches. Pre-made lunches come in single-use plastic trays, covered with plastic wrap, and packaged inside a box. This results in a lot of unnecessary trash, as do juice boxes and pouches, plastic sandwich bags, and single-serving bags of chips, crackers, and cookies. All that packaging ends up in trash cans at school or at home. By changing how you pack your lunch, you can reduce your trash and help the environment. Reusable lunch containers make bringing a waste-free lunch to school or summer camp easy and fun. They come in many different styles. Compartments keep food separated and can be filled with a variety of fruits, vegetables, and proteins. Don't forget to replace single-serving juice boxes with a refillable thermos or water bottle. And what about a paper napkin? Replace it with a cloth napkin that can be washed and reused. The grocery store is another place we often get single-use plastics. Many fruits and vegetables come packaged in plastic wrap, like this cucumber and bag of clementines. We also use plastic bags when buying loose fruits and vegetables. All this plastic ends up in our landfills and oceans. So instead of grabbing a single-use plastic bag from the store or buying pre-packed fruits and vegetables, bring reusable bags from home, like these mesh drawstring bags, and buy loose fruits and vegetables rather than pre-packaged items. Bulk shopping is another way to reduce waste. Reuse containers from home for bulk items like flour, sugar, cereal, and spices. Reuse. The third R is for reuse. Reusing something means using it again. We already talked about reusable water bottles and lunch containers, but there are lots of ways kids can help reuse items. Look around your bedroom. Are there clothes that are too small for you, toys that you no longer play with, or books you no longer want to read? Think about giving these and other unwanted household items to charity, church, or secondhand stores so that other kids can use them. Secondhand stores are also a great place to shop for clothes and toys that you can reuse. You'll save money and the environment at the same time. Recycle. The fourth R is recycling. It is fourth for a reason. While recycling keeps materials from going into landfills or incinerators, it requires the use of other resources. Recyclables need to be transported to recycling stations, sorted, and processed into raw materials that can be manufactured into new products. This uses resources, such as gasoline for transport, coal and natural gas for electricity, and water for processing. So we should only recycle items that we can't refuse, reduce, or reuse. Some communities have curbside recycling. Recyclable items such as paper, plastics, metals, and glass are placed in designated containers for collection. If your community does not have curbside pickup, find out if there's a community collection center or other location where you can take your recyclables. Earth 911 can tell you where you can recycle in your neighborhood. Rot. The fifth and final R is rot. Rotting is the process by which organic matter decomposes. Organic matter refers to living organisms. The food we eat comes from organic matter and can be broken down into soil for growing more plants, including fruits and vegetables, through a process called composting. There are different ways to compost depending on where you live. Some communities have curbside composting. In other areas, private companies offer similar services for a fee. If you have a yard, you can compost right at home. If you can't compost at home, there may be a nearby community garden that will accept your food waste for their compost pile. Over 1/3 of our household waste is food waste, so composting can significantly reduce the amount of waste taken to landfills and incinerators. Kids can do a lot to reduce waste, conserve resources, and help protect our environment. Just remember the 5 R's. Refuse things you don't need, like plastic drinking straws, freebies, and produce and shopping bags. Reduce your waste. Avoid using single-use plastics like water bottles, as well as juice boxes and prepackaged lunches. Instead, use a refillable water bottle, reusable lunch container, and bring bags and containers from home when you shop. Reuse items by selling or donating unwanted clothes, toys, books, furniture, and other household items so that they may be used by others. Recycle paper products, metal, glass, plastics, and yard waste by separating these items and placing them in the correct bins for curbside pickup or taking them to your community recycling center. And allow for food scraps and other organic material to rot by collecting them for community or backyard composting. Kids can do a lot to help conserve our resources, clean up our environment, and protect our planet. By following the 5 R's, we reduced our trash from this large kitchen-sized trash can that we emptied weekly to this tiny bathroom-sized trash can that we empty just once a month. You can do it too. Get your family to take the Zero Waste Challenge and reduce your trash.
You don't have to doubt it. Think about it. Think about it.